Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is at Phil the Payne PW, or Nick Payne if you prefer, and you're watching my team career here on F1 2020. Now, if you didn't check out my last video, please go do so now. It was at the Vietnam Grand Prix in Hanoi, and it was actually a sensational race in the end. We qualified in P15, and on the last lap, we had no front wing, or a damaged front wing, shall I say, but we still made it through the last couple of people, and we finished in P13. So yeah, it was a great result in the end, and a great race. As you can see in front of me, it's giving me the option to pick my rival now, and I'm going to pick Pierre Gasly due to the fact of obviously he collided with us in Bahrain and made us slip, and we had quite a little tasty battle in Hanoi, to be honest. So I think that's the right option there if we pick Pierre Gasly. But as you can see in front of me, there's a load of activities and a load of days that need to be filled up with the activities. But something you can see there is it needs to be planned strategically, because there's 3 days at the start and then there's 5 days in between there. So we need to make sure that the 3 days at the front in the chassis, and then we don't overpick the same thing as well. So we haven't gone for this 2-day chassis team quality as well as we advance on, and we've got an actual chance to earn quite a bit of money here, as we've got a checkpoint challenge at Circuit Zandvoort, and that gives us $100,000 to spend, and also 1,000 acclaim, no less as well, which we did actually pass it in the end. So that's a great result for us, to be honest, as we get that money in, and that actually allows us to spend that, and we're going to actually use that right now here on the aerodynamic department, and we're actually going to spend it on the fabrication on an upgrade. And basically the upgrade actually allows us to use or upgrade two parts simultaneously, so at the same time. So in reality, I think that's the right choice to do. But considering the first thing I did do after buying that upgrade was actually go into the powertrain department and actually order a standard upgrade for the powertrain, which actually meant we didn't even have enough upgrade points left to use to actually upgrade our system in the aerodynamic department. But as we're going to advance on through the activities that we just set, and we're going to go to the Chinese Grand Prix, and we're going to see how we get on in qualifying. As you can see now, as we go through the final corner here, it's a wet weather qualifying session. The first wet weather session of our career in my team, of course, under Payne Racing. And we finally get to the chance to see what the car looks like with the green wall intermediate tyres on, of course, due to the wet weather. And I've got to be honest, I absolutely adore this car with the green tyres on. I just think it looks so astonishing, the way like the green tyres are obviously bouncing off the green on the halo, and then the purple to match up to it, and the way the rain's bouncing off it. I do think I picked the right decision with this car. It is a beautiful car, as we did go deep into that corner, and we have made up some time, as we're one of the last cars out, to be honest. I did wait a little bit as we go short into that corner, and that's going to slow us down. But the reason I did wait until a few cars had set a few times, because I wanted to wait till the track actually did start warming up, because it did say that the track was actually going to stop, or the weather was going to stop raining, so the track would dry out eventually. So I was hoping that I'd get it at the right temperature And as we go down the back straight here on our first qualifying lap, thankfully everyone's on the green tyres at the moment, and we're just trying to get a quick time. I don't know whereabouts we can finish, as there's no lap times that have been posted next to me, as it says we're currently in P12, so we can only assume that's where we actually are as we go around the final corner here in the Chinese qualifying session up the main straight. No DRS, of course, because of the rain conditions, and of course I'm getting tired of saying this, to be honest, on the first qualifying lap that we do within P2, for God's sake. 3 times out of 4 in Q1 first lap with qualified P2, but that actually drops us down into P6, of course, after a few more cars go out. And as we're about to set our second lap, I saw Sergio Perez was on the inters, but I saw Kvyat was actually going out on a pair of softs. So we go out on a pair of softs and actually set a fast, or not a fast, the fastest Sector 1 and Sector 2 of the qualifying session. And as we come around the final corner, we actually go fastest in qualifying 1 due to the track being at its warmest and at the most optimal temperature. So we actually go through as P1 in Q1, and actually as we come down the order we can see Jack Aiken just narrowly getting through, knocking out Latifi, so he's made full advantage of it, so he's through to Q2 as well, as we set our first lap in Q2, and it's actually slowest of the session due to all the cars around us. And we actually have to go onto another set of soft tyres, and we actually set a whole new fastest lap for ourselves, and we actually go into P8 in the end, as Jack Aiken doesn't make the cut, unfortunately, but he does a superb job in P12 in that Payne Racing car that he has not been the same level as us in so far this season. So a great result for him. As we go through to Q3 now, and we set a banker lap on the very old soft tyres, and it does mean that we go down from P7 down into P10, unfortunately, as we set our second lap as we go around the final corners on brand new soft tyres, not worn soft tyres this time, trying to get a lot more pace out of the car. As you can see, 2 green sectors so far, not purple this time, as we go deep into the corner, into the runoff area, and we finish in a total of P7 on the grid, which is a great result for us as we're 4th row.
It's time to find out which driver is up to the task of claiming the Chinese Grand Prix. We're here in Shanghai. We're here in the Yangtze River Delta today, home of the 16 corners that make up the Shanghai International Circuit. 54% of this 3.3-mile lap is taken at full throttle, and we'll be getting up to speeds of around 200 miles an hour, with DRS assisting the cars down the back straight before they brake into the sharp hairpin at turn 14. Joining us today to oversee all the thrills and spills, it's Anthony Davidson. And great to see you. How are you feeling about the race today, and how are the circuit conditions from what you've seen?
Well, it's looking a bit cold out there, if I'm honest. These tyres have quite a narrow operating window in terms of the temperatures they need to extract the best grip. So with a cold track surface, it's going to be harder to keep those temperatures up, which will lead to lower grip and maybe more mistakes.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The fence starts from pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Albon, Charles Leclerc, the rookie, Stroll, Gasly, Grosjean, and Jack Aiken, Giovinazzi, Russell, Sebastian Vettel, and Magnussen, Raikkonen, Latifi, Lando Norris, and Daniel Ricciardo. Kvyat, they've taken a grid penalty. Sainz, Ocon, and Sergio Perez completes our grid. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
And as you can see from that driver's lineup, we're actually up one place due to a grid penalty from Sebastian Vettel, and Jack Aiken's up into P10 now, as we're going to do a two-stop strategy today, both going to be on the medium tyres after we've pitted up from our softs on lap 4, of course, and we're going to see how we get on in the race. We're sat in P6, of course, as we go to 4 red lights, 5, and we're underway as it's a slow start from both Albon and Leclerc as we get a monstrous start as we're going to pinch Verstappen here down on the inside of turn 1. Can we get side by side with Bottas here? If we could get side by side, maybe we can even get into P2 if possible as we go deep into the corner, and Verstappen actually is allowed through down on the inside, and he's going to take P3 as we're going to have to settle behind him round these first or the last couple of corners as Albon tries to make a look down the inside of turn 6, but we're still in front. Yellow flags due to the collision that Albon hitting us into turn 6, but we're up into P4 now. That's a gain of 2 places, so you got to say that's a great start from Payne Racing. I can only hope Jack Aiken's had a good start as us as we go through the final corners of sector 2 now, aiming for that back straight. Hopefully we get a good exit out of here so we can say a good exit, and we go deep into the corner and we go slowly and onto the curb round turn 12 into 13, and we're not going to be close enough to the slipstream of Max Verstappen now, so it's going to be unlikely that we're going to make a move, although we are going to try. We're going to brake a bit late and hopefully we can catch him here as we're braking, and no, it's not going to be possible. If we had tried it, we'd have just spun out. So we back out of any thought in our head of trying to dive there, and we're just going to have to wait another lap or 2 until we're in his slipstream enough that we can actually overtake the Red Bull here, as we've still got Albon behind us in this Red Bull sandwich. Can we make a move into turn 2? It's a great passing opportunity if you get it right, as Max Verstappen actually goes deep into the corner and actually slows us down. As we're here on lap 3 now, and we've got Albon behind us with Leclerc still, Max Verstappen just up ahead. Can we catch him as he's pulled out a 2-second gap, and there's yellow flags behind us, and I do believe that maybe Leclerc goes slow, and if that is, then that's going to be a safety car due to where it's going to be parked up. So we're going to jump into the pit stop and hope that it is, as we tell our chief engineer we're boxing. Leclerc's out of the session, and it is indeed a safety car, so we may have actually saved ourselves from having to go 1 lap extra on these soft tyres. Obviously that will mean that we're going 1 lap extra on the medium tyres, but I don't think that will be too much of a problem in the grand scheme of things, as we're coming into the pits at P4, and we're going to come out of the pits in a total of P19 now, just in front of Sebastian Vettel in fact. So we're now in a sandwich between a 6-time world champion and a 4-time world champion of obviously Sebastian Vettel and Lewis Hamilton, of course. Lewis Hamilton just in front, and I never thought I'd be saying this 4 episodes in here, but can we actually make a move on Lewis Hamilton where we overtake the 6-time world champion? Is it possible as we go green flag as we go through the final corner, but unfortunately we get a bad exit, and Sebastian Vettel's actually looking like he's going to try making a move here, and he's gone for the inside line as we go across trying to get through, but he's got inside of us, but thankfully we're going to have the inside line into turn 3, which is more important, and we're going to be able to squeeze him out as we go through this corner now into turns 5 and 6, and we're going to be up into P19, and we're going to stay in P19. We're not going to let him through, but we brake late and we nearly dive into the back of Hamilton. We have to sort of give the position there as we go onto the curb and slightly sort of grinding it round like a skateboard, but we're going to try making a move whenever we can, but we've still got Vettel directly behind us, still trying to squeeze through any gap that we give him, as we're not going to lay off the gas anytime we can, and we're going to stay on Hamilton for as long as possible here, as he's being held up by all the cars ahead. As you can see, the line of cars just going around that corner, It's a second gap to everyone as the safety car has just held up everyone. And as you can see, there's Perez in front. Yeah, I think that's Latifi slowing everyone down as there's a gap now to the cars in front. As we're looking like we're going to make a move here on Hamilton. Overtake mode. Rich Mix engaged. No DRS, of course, just after the safety car as we switch across to the outside in front of Hamilton. Side by side with Perez, and you've got Latifi and Ocon just ahead of us as Perez goes across the curb, slowing his car down. We're still side by side with him as we're on the outside, which will turn to the inside. And now we've got the move done as we're fast out of that corner. We're going to make a move here on Ocon, and we're going to make a move here on Latifi around the outside. He squeezes us close to the grass as much as possible, and we try slowing the car down, just rolling it around, but it's not going to work, and we're actually going to lose every single place we just gained there on the end of the lap into turn 14 and 16, and we've got to settle back into position, go back down into behind Hamilton now as we're here on lap 7 behind Hamilton, still in front of Vettel. This is what it's been like as we dive down the inside of Hamilton, trying to get a better exit out of the corner, but we're side by side and he's going to have the inside now for the final corner, and he's already ahead, so we have to concede back to him and hopefully get a better exit as it's Renault power versus the Mercedes power in the engine, and the Mercedes power wins this time, unfortunately, as Lewis Hamilton is fresh on the power as we're going to try sinking it round the outside, and we dive down the inside and we actually break our front wing a lot, and we actually get a yellow front wing on the left side, and we've got the position on Hamilton. But in reality, that's nothing compared to losing the front wing. That us losing the front wing just means we're going to be massively slow through each corner as we dive down there, and we're hot on the brakes to just power through as we've got Latifi up ahead. Can we make a move here as we're deep into turn 7? We have to let off the power just to keep it on the actual track, and Hamilton's actually got through now. And that dive where we've broken our front wing has just caused us massive problems as Vettel tries making a move now. And Vettel's going to be all over us for the rest of these couple of laps now. And we're here, still fighting with Vettel, of course. And Vettel is just pushing us through and pushing us hard as we're trying to make moves on Hamilton. That's what I'm aiming to do. But I'm too slow round each corner. And there's actually a bit of a gap to Vettel now as we're here on lap 8. And Hamilton's up ahead. We've got DRS. But Hamilton's got ahead of Latifi. So we're going to have to try following him through as we go to the inside. And we try slowing the car down so we don't make contact with Hamilton. I don't think we did there as we go around the turn 14. But the stewards say that we did. And we made contact with him. But it didn't feel like we did as we go through the final corner. And we're up another place now. As we're here on lap 10, of course, Hamilton's still ahead. Latifi's dropped down the order as Vettel is trying to push us, and push us hard this is. And Vettel's actually going to make the move here into turn 14. We're on the outside, we slow the car down, and he actually brake checks us as he goes around the corner, and we slow down enough that he gets the overtake done. And now we're down into P17 once again. Unfortunately, Vettel's pushed the gap, and he's made the gap prove dividend there, and he's up into P16. As we're through on lap 12, we've got DRS on Sebastian Vettel ahead now, as we're going to look to make a late move here into turn 14. We've got Perez ahead of him. As we dive down the inside, we bang wheels with him, and we actually go through into P16 once again. It's got a warning from the officials for that hastily overtake. No warning from our chief engineers. We've got DRS off Hamilton as there's a few people in the pits now. We was in P16, of course. We're now up into P13 as Albon comes out. As Jack's coming to the pits as we're all going round each corner, and there's more and more cars in the pits, and we started off the lap in P13. We're now in P7. And we're here in P7 against, obviously, Vettel behind us. And there's even more cars in the pits on this lap. as we're looking to make a gain of each lap, as Vettel's trying to push down the inside. He wants the P4 position, he wants to get past, but he's down the inside. Normally that would be a good position, but when it turns to the outside like this and we're on the inside, we can squeeze him out. And now we're still in P4 as we've got Hamilton and Verstappen up ahead. Can we make any moves here? Here on lap 15, of course, and we've got Albon just behind us trying to get past. He's on fresh medium tyres, remember. He pitted on the last couple of laps, and we're going to let him through. We're boxing this lap. We don't have to fight him too hard. We just need to stay and keep the momentum going. As we come into the pits here on lap 16, of course. And we're going to change our front wing due to the fact of all the damage that was caused by when we went into the back of Hamilton. And as you can see in front, Hamilton's already made his pit stop and now is making his exit of the pit lane as we're about to enter into our pit window as we box for our new front wing, change the tyres to the medium compound, and hopefully we can get some last minute pace out of this car. As we're slow, we tried getting out, but Kvyat's gone through. He's jumped us in the pit lane, and that's another car we're going to have to overtake now as Sebastian Vettel comes out ahead of us. We're in P19 for the time being as we're looking to eye up a move here on the two slow cars of Danny Kvyat and Sebastian Vettel, and we've made it work round the outside here on lap 17, and we're up into P17 now as Danny Kvyat's having a sniff round the outside of turn 6 here as we're side by side into the corner. We both brake late, we both get the job done, and we're still in P17 as we're here on lap 19 now, still in P17. We've finally caught up to Stroll and we're literally just pushing Stroll through the corner. We're looking to make a move down the inside of him. We're slow out the corner because he keeps going near us, and we've got no one to get the slipstream off. He has his teammate who's getting the slipstream off, and he's just pulling away from us with the DRS, of course. So we're going to go directly behind him. He squeezes us to the line. We nearly make contact with Raikkonen. We make contact with Perez as he turns in, and we're up into 2 more places now as we've got Raikkonen up ahead in the Alfa Romeo. Can we catch him here just like we have done with all the other cars into turn 2? This will be another place if we can, as we made 2 passes there in 1 lap. As we're eyeing up the move on these fresh medium tyres. I do have the confidence in them, and we dive down the inside, and there's another place as we move up the 3rd place in just a matter of 1 lap now, as we've got the Haas of the Danish Kevin Magnussen up ahead as Kimi Raikkonen still has a look down the inside. We give him enough for him down the inside, but we actually box through now, and we're up into P14 once again as we've got Kevin Magnussen next, and he is looking very slow down this turn 8 here into turn 9. We're going to make the dive down on the inside as he tries to turn through, and we're up another place into P13 now. And that was at turn 9 as we've got Russell up ahead in the Williams. He's doing a fantastic job in that Williams car, it must be said. As we're going round each turn, we're going to look to make a move down into turn 14, just like we have done with all the other cars. Can we make a move here on George Russell? We're in his slipstream, we've got rich mix engaged, we've got overtake mode, and with a bit of DRS, we pull off the overtake just to save it as much as we can. We go to the outside of George Russell, and we go across, and we make the move work up into P12 now. And that was a total of, I think, 5 or 6 overtakes there in the space of 1 lap. It was 5 overtakes. We started at P17 on the lap, up into P12 now. This is a purple sector 3. As we're here on lap 22 now, or the end of lap 22, shall I say, going into lap 23 as we go into the runoff area there. And we're trying to catch and make a move here on Ocon. Can he fail or fall to the same perish as Kimi Raikkonen, Vettel and Danny Kvyat did down into turn 3 as we're eyeing up the move, and we've made the move work down into turn 3, and that's a 4th car that bites the dust, unfortunately for him, as we've got Giovinazzi up next. Can we make a move on Sainz and Giovinazzi? As we're pushing hard to make the move on Sainz. We're literally right on his tail here, biting at his heels. Can we get that corner? We've got the medium tyres versus the hard, and the medium tyres work and win this time, unfortunately, for Sainz. As we've got Giovinazzi next. We're looking to make a move on him as well, as we're slow into the corner because we don't want to get another damaged front wing, of course, here on lap 23. Can we make a move here on Giovinazzi now? As we have a little look, but unfortunately for us, he does cut us off, and we're not going to make the move here, as we're slow through that corner, and we've got Sainz who's going to be biting at our heels now, as we're slow through that corner into the main straight, and Sainz is going to close the gap, and close the gap fast as we try to get that DRS open, overtake mode, use a little bit of it as we can, and Sainz is actually going to re-overtake us here, so we're back down into P11 as we go into turn 14. Can we get that move back, just like we did with Ocon, just like we did with Kimi Raikkonen, just like we did with Sebastian Vettel, and just like we did with Danny Kvyat? Can we make the P3 pass move work again? As we're eyeing up the move, we're hot through the corner, we tippy tappy round that last into turn 2, and we're literally side by side, and we make the move work once again, and there's the place back, and now we can say we're up into P10 once more, as we've got Giovinazzi up ahead and Romain Grosjean, of course, and then you can just see our teammate is doing a superb job there in what looks to be a P7 position. So we've got Giovinazzi up ahead here in turn 7, going into turn 8. We're looking to make a move, and we've literally rolled the car through, and we're going to make the move here at turn 9, and we've squeezed Giovinazzi out, and we've got Grosjean up next. Can we make a move here? Can we catch him so we can make a move on the turn 14 as we're going round into turn 10 now, into turn 11, and we're going to make a move here. We're very close to him. Can we make the move? We're looking very close. Can we get side by side with him here? He's obviously got the slipstream from Jack Aiken, so we go behind him just slightly so we can actually get the DRS. He's got DRS on our teammate. We're going to go to the outside as he goes to the inside. We're going to try to make the move work round the outside here as we go side by side into the corner. He's got ahead, better traction though, and we're going to literally, and we bang into his side pod, but thankfully we got the move work as we go into the runoff area, and we're up another place into P8 now. As we're in P8 now in lap 25, and we've got our teammate going slowly ahead, and we're going to try and make a move here in turn 9, just like we did with Giovinazzi, just like we did with Kevin Magnussen earlier, and we're up another place now into P7. But as you can see, our teammate is not happy, and he's going to try coming back at us here as we're slow through the corner, but thankfully we're on a fresh, or a newer pair of soft or medium tyres, shall I say. Got there in the end, and we're going to actually pull the gap to 1 second now. As we're coming through the last corner, and we're actually now about to go onto our last lap of this Grand Prix. We're currently in P7, massive gap up ahead, 2.2 second gap behind, and that's it, and that's the race over for us, and it's going to be a P7 finish, but more importantly a P8 finish for Jack Aiken behind, so a double points finish for the team there. Great result for Payne Racing. That's our first double finish in the points, as Daniel Ricciardo gets driver of the day, and fully deserved also, and a great result for Payne Racing.
So, another fantastic victory for the Silver Arrows. Talk to me, Ants. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Well, the safety car completely changed the race, didn't it? It's hard to say exactly what would have happened without it, but there's no question that they came out of that situation in a good position.
Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again.
And that's a great result for not just us as Payne Racing, but a great result, I must actually say it, for Alex Albon. He gets his first podium, so congrats to him. No Lewis Hamilton to knock him off the pedestal there, as Daniel Ricciardo goes from P18 to P5, so fully deserved, as we are now in P10 in the Drivers' Championship, as Daniel Ricciardo jumps both Carlos Sainz and myself, and he's up the table now as we pass Esteban Ocon, of course, and we're now in P10 on 12 points. And we've got to be careful because Haas is coming like steadily to catch us here. Thankfully we are on 16 points and they're only on 4, but we've got a chance now. But that's where we're going to wrap up this video. If you have liked all the overtakes I've done this race, please like the video. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And if you've got any thoughts, please comment them down below. I've been Nick Payne at Feel the Pain PW. Goodbye.